What's up, everybody? Nolan, Pray for Rain, drummer. I want to give you a little rundown of my setup here. So, I mostly use the Focusrite. This is outdated stuff, so you don't need anything too fancy. If you want to do stuff like we are doing with the filming of the videos and for practice purposes, so I'll start out with the practice part. So, I'm just using a cheaper X Vive setup. So you can see here, I got this off of Sweetwater. You can probably find it other places, but I really like working with Sweetwater. And then basically I put that on my hip. This is in the headphone jack on here, and it is your typical size headphone jack for these. And then that, I have some headphones here, my in-ears, which these are West-Tones, and they're pretty good ones. But the X5 isn't all that great. So, I mean, it does the job. I shouldn't say it's not that great. It gets the job done. Is it a entry level? Maybe so, but it does the job. It gets everything done, and this is how I get my practice done. So what I do for practice is I load it up on Cubase on my computer, and then I put all the songs in a row that I want to jam to, and then I put a 4 count in front of it so I know when it's going to start, and I just put it on repeat, and then I'll jam through all the songs as much as I need to where I can stay fresh on them, stay consistent, and this is in between real practices with the band. So this is something I suggest you do so you can stay consistent and fresh, is of course practice as much as possible, but if you are limited, this will keep you fresh. It will keep you with a click track. I run the metronome while I'm doing it, and then I jam to the songs on my drums in my office here. And then we also utilize the in-ears for when I'm doing videos. I have a space where I shoot my videos. That way I can have in-ears and be able to hear the song, because as a drummer, unless you have a big PA set up with you, it's going to be hard to hear the song so you can play along to it in time. So if you have that, then you can make that difference and not have to use in-ears. But I prefer specifically to use the in-ears because it is a little more cost effective to buy something like the X5 and some decent in-ear headphones like these, and then play along to the song. So this is how we're making our content. Is I am just running it in Cubase with a 4 count and the metronome on, so I can play along to the song and shoot all these videos that you guys are seeing. And then Ben is shooting all the videos, the bass player. So if you want to check out all the bass stuff, the opposing side of things, a lot of the video I've helped shoot for him on that, for his playthroughs and such, go to Ben for Rain on YouTube, and you can find him on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, just like my channels too. So we're helping each other out. We're constantly making content together as often as possible, and then collaborating with each other. This is one way that we found is helping us grow our channels, since we just started out doing it not that long ago, since the creation of this specific video. But I wanted to show you guys this, that it doesn't take a lot to do it. I'm sure you could do it probably even cheaper than this. This is just stuff I've accumulated over the years and that I use. And so this runs into my computer, and it basically works as my sound card. And then again, I run my all my songs for Pray for Rain in Cubase. I put a little space between each one of them, put the tempos in that are correct, put a 4 count at least in front of it with a drum machine or something. That way I know when the song's going to start for the next one, and I can sit there and jam to the songs without the band and stay fresh on everything. So that's the way to do it. I personally think it'll help you stay good, and then that way when you actually get together with your group, you'll be ready to knock those songs out really well with them. It's that way when you guys play live, this is how a lot of bands do it. They're playing to a click track, and then they have somebody, mix them and all that stuff. That's why they a lot of times sound just like their CD or, their recording. And then they start sounding, you feel like they're just performing so well, because that's what they do, is they rehearse to a click track, most likely. And then if that's how they recorded their album, then they're going to play the songs exactly like that live. So having some basic stuff like this can make you more proficient in your instrument, get you better, make you seem more professional. And I ain't saying that I'm the most professional person out there with all my stuff. I'm planning on upgrading this stuff, but like you don't need to spend thousands of dollars on setups to be able to pull stuff off like this. Like I'm sure you can get an adapter for this that'll break it down to I think it's an 1/8 inch if I'm not mistaken, so you can run it into a stereo that you can Bluetooth. I'm literally using my phone to film this, and we've used our phones to film both the bass and drum videos. It doesn't take a lot, so you can utilize your phone, get a cheap stand off at Amazon. That's what we do for our static shots, where it's just stationary there. And then the other ones, just like I'm doing right now, is just we just slowly move around. We're doing everything in portrait mode because we're doing shorts. So this is something you got to consider too. If you're going to do a separate channel and you're going to produce, all these things on your own channel, something else you got to take into consideration is doing it in portrait mode and cutting a bunch of shots into shorts. You have to do it if you're going to dub your band's song over it, because unless you got copyright protections and you're having your band allow you to post videos that are longer than a minute, you're going to get a copyright strike on YouTube and most everything else. But if you do a minute and under, it's not going to copyright you. So that's basically what we're doing, is making shorts with smaller content and putting out clips of stuff, because you could put it on your band's main page if you have it all set up right. If you distributed through like DistroKid and etc., all those different places, then you could do it all through there. But if you're wanting to produce your own personal content, you're going to have to refilm it, or re-record everything on your instruments, independently, and do like a proper cover, full all the way, if you don't want that to hit. Or there's other workarounds if you Google it, how to get your channel whitelisted from another channel, so your band's channel. So there's different hoops you have to go through. You can have them submit it in DistroKid. I'm just going to use that as an example because that's one I've used before. And you can give them the link and they can put it in there and it'll whitelist you. So if you do a full band or full drum cover, for example, for me, then if I get them to do that, if they can cycle it through there, then you shouldn't get hit with copyright strikes, because you put it out there that it's okay for that channel, so mine, to use that song and dub it over it if I'm just doing a random playthrough and not doing a full-on re-record of the whole thing, which is a lot more effort to do. Obviously, if you don't have the microphones, the know-how to mix and master it, it can get pricey to have somebody do that for you just to do a cover of your own band's song. So Google that stuff and learn about it so you can see it. I haven't done it yet. We're just starting with the shorts and putting out a ton of content, cutting those down to different things and making different ideas out of all this stuff. I just wanted to do one little long form video so I can post that for something a little different. So again, get yourself a cheaper, setup so you can get stuff done. And then when you can afford it, or if you already can, then upgrade to the better quality stuff. But this stuff really does the job. I can't knock it. It gets the job done. I've been able to produce a lot of content with those, with the X-Vive setup and the in-ears. So I apologize if I made it sound like it's not good at all. It does the job. So run that, get some decent headphones, maybe nothing, you could probably do it with some wired like $50 headphones or maybe even cheaper, and it'll do the thing. Because I'm playing drums, I have these ones because it cancels out a lot of the noise and allows me to hear the song and not have to play the song super loud in my ears, and then I have my eardrums ringing all day long because of that. So that's why I'm doing that. But like I said, if you can get a PA system set up, so like this, and you'll be able to hear it if you're a drummer, then great. Otherwise, just as another backup, like because I have this for when I play guitar, I use the Spark amp because it's got Bluetooth on it. And so that's how we do the bass videos, is I literally place that out there. So some small Bluetooth thing, and then play the song from your phone, and you're going to be golden. So if you're not a drummer, it's a little bit easier, because then you can just literally play to a stereo, because you don't have to be necessarily loud. So just some tidbits for you guys to consider, stuff to try. If you want to make videos like we're doing it, we're not super professional. We're learning as we go, and we're going to consistently get better with purchasing lights and stuff like that to get rid of shadows that are casting, because we're doing this in a shop at night, and so we're trying to make it look as cool as we possibly can on a budget until, you know, maybe we start making some money with these videos, which is obviously a little bit of the goal, is off of ads and stuff. So if you want to think outside the box and try and make some money on the side, I highly suggest you get really proactive and make videos and do stuff for your band on the side, because it's going to generate not only potentially income for you at some point, but it's also going to promote the band a lot. That's our goal, is to promote each other. So Ben and I, because we're doing these together, the bass player and I are doing a lot of the videos together right now. But we obviously are promoting the band. So it's just going to bring more viewers. They're going to hear the song. They're going to be like, man, that was cool. I should go check out the actual song, which will get more attention brought to the band. So that's just the way things are these days. If you stay consistent and constantly post as much content as you can, you know, do a longer form like this, explaining how your setup, what you use, and all that stuff. So this is just some of the stuff stacked up right now. Our cabs for guitars, bass cab, you know, all the stuff, etc. Just hanging out in here because we're not using it at the moment. But go over that stuff. People are interested in it. They'll watch it. You know, you may not get a ton. I may not get a ton of views on this, but you know what? Somebody, you know, if you get a couple hundred views on something like this, and then you get a few subscribers out of it, that's going to be helpful. It's not costing me any money to do this with my phone. So just talk about stuff, what you're doing with the band. You know, get proactive and make those videos. You know, I'll say you go and do some research on the most successful YouTuber, Mr. Beast. You're going to find him saying stuff like that. Just post, get better at your content as much as you can with each video. Try something new, and if something's working, stick with it. Like if something's constantly making you get a ton of views, why would you change it if it's constantly getting better and better and better? So just up your quality is what he was kind of saying in some videos. So something to consider. I'm no professional. I'm learning. I'm just talking about what I've done so far, and hopefully it helps somebody. But again, get yourself decent headphones and a wireless setup if you're a drummer, so that way you can do stuff like that, or get yourself a laptop and a stand. If you have that already, then you'll have that ability to set it right next to you so you can jam and do your thing. But if you're trying to do music videos, obviously you don't want a laptop in your video. You want to make it just really focused on your drums or your bass, guitar, vocals, etc. Make videos, stay consistent. I hope this helps you guys. I probably went on a little bit of a rant, but hopefully this will help somebody. That's the goal. And then you guys can get a little background on what we do. So this is Nolan, drummer for Pray for Rain. Check us out. It'll be in the description. You can check out the YouTube. There's multiple music videos on there and some cover songs that we've done. So check all that stuff out. If you dig it, subscribe to the band channel. Again, if you want to see what the bass player's up to, Ben for Rain is his channel name, and we're going to be posting this stuff on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, YouTube. Thanks for watching.